Okay, you're on the cloud, and like I said, there's a ton to cover, so we're gonna get into it and spam, and we're gonna go fast, but that's okay. First and foremost, um, I sent you an email this afternoon for a webinar for what's going on with Jessica? Okay, um, uh, a webinar for Bold Trail. We're no longer allowed to ever say KV Core again, okay, because our CRM has been rebranded and retooled as Bold Trail. Um, you need to go on the webinar and you need to watch the webinar. And then within the webinar, towards the end of the webinar, they will tell you about some training that is available in the Academy for free for Bold Trail. You might want to consider signing up for that. I'll give you my general take on Bold Trail versus KV Core. It's the same but different, but better, but the same but different. Okay, so it is actually way more awesome than it was. There's some really cool what I like to call Brendan highlights because now Brendan can't say where the F is that. There's one box called OmniSearch where Brendan can type in what he wants and it comes up. It's really cool. Um, Other than that, it's pretty much the same. You didn't lose anything that you had in KV Core? It's all still there. Anything that you had running in KV Core? It's all still there. It's just been retooled. It's been redesigned. It's been rebranded a little bit, and it's actually a lot easier to use and a lot better to navigate. Um, all of the presentations and everything that was in there before, it's all still there. Don't stress. But do yourself a favor and watch the webinar and think about the training. It'll save you some time. It's kind of like, we just had the MLS change and now we've had our CRM change and there's a lot going on. So that's number one. Number two, I haven't taken a look yet, but I need you to go in and make sure that your profiles are up to speed at least marginally. And what I mean by that is this. Make sure that your profile in the intranet is up and running and complete. Make sure that your profiles on social media, and when I say social media, all I care about is Facebook and Instagram. Make sure that they're up and running and complete. But Damian, why? Well, because over the next few weeks, starting now and running weekly, Brendan and I will be running agent features on our social media pages. All right. So we're going to promote you as agents. We're going to talk about how wonderful you are. We are not going to do that for you if you are not up to snuff on your profiling, because what we don't want to happen is to have somebody go, oh, God, that agent looks like they've really got their stuff together. Let me look them up on social media, which is where we're posting it, and they can't find you or you look like crap, right? That would be counterproductive. So before we feature you, we'll check you out, make sure your bare bones minimum social media and intranet complete. Then we'll promote you. Okay, we'll promote you in text, we'll promote you in stills. Be careful. We might end up interviewing you on like a 1 minute video and posting that as well. Will I give you any notice that that's going to happen? Yes, about 30 minutes. Okay, so be ready to go. Webinar, profiles for internet. Okay, let's get into it. So I said I would do two things for you. There's a comprehensive report from RIS Media that we're going to go through. It's going to shock you. All right. It's on commissions, both pre and post. Let's just call it post judgment. All right. Post judgment, because I don't have a better word. All right. That's going to shock you. But before I do that, I had a talk with Brent about this the other morning too. I'm going to give you a market update. There's a fresh batch of data in for our area on the market, and I want you to try and figure it out. Actually, I don't want you to try and figure it out. I just want you to listen to me. All right. So across the board in all of our regions, give me those of you that are on video, those of you that are not, that's fine. You don't have to be on video, but those of you on video, give me we'll go up or down. All right. This is up. This is down. What do you think has happened in the past 12 months rolling with listings? Up or down? Michael says down. Jess says down. Brendan says up. Julie doesn't know. Julie's talking, but moving her hand. It's real simple. It's up or down. Listings up, listings down. Sideways. No, they're not neutral. Okay, they're up. Listings are up. Okay, generally speaking, the number of listings available to purchase over the last 12 months rolling has increased. All right, now days on market for those listings. Days on market for those listings, up or down? Michael, I think, says up. Caron says up. Julie says up. Jess says up. Brendan says up. Correct. Days on market is up. Good. Number of sold units. Number of sold units, 12 months rolling. Number of sold units up. Number of sold units down. Talk to me. Down, 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 down. You would be correct. They're down. Number of sold units is down. All right, good. Price. Closed price, average closed price per square foot. Closed price up, closed price down. Listings up, days on market up, closed price up, closed price down.
12 months, right?
Rolling, 12 months, rolling. Yep. Jess says up. Michael says up. Julie says down. Caron says up. Brendan doesn't get a vote because he knows the answer. Up. If you don't know how weird that is, raise your hand. If you just think, well, whatever. If you don't know how, that doesn't happen, guys. That doesn't happen. Okay? When the amount of inventory grows and the demand for said inventory shrinks, and the time that it takes that inventory to sell expands, the price doesn't go up. Y'all understand that, right? But it did. But it did. You can't explain that to me, and I can't explain that to you because that doesn't make any damn sense. But I can tell you what I think that it means. Okay? I can tell you what I think that it means.
I was going to say I had an idea.
What was that? What was that?
Oh, I was going to say I might have an idea why, but go ahead. I want to hear.
Okay. 2 years ago, there was 50 people that wanted to buy a house. 50 people that wanted to buy a house. There was only 10 houses for sale. Those people fought over those 10 houses and sent the price skyrocketing. Right? Sent the price skyrocketing. The conventional wisdom, no. The people that wanted to try and justify the market or whatever else said, oh, don't worry. Don't worry. As soon as there's more houses to buy for those 50 people that want to buy them, the price will go down. It does make sense. Okay? It does make sense. But then the market shifted. Interest rates came in, the economy went to shit, all of those things happened, right? And so now instead of 50 people that want to buy the house, there's only 10. Okay? There's only 10. Now, it just so happens that instead of 10 houses for those 10 people to buy, there's now 40. Okay? There's now 40. The problem is that sometime in the middle of that, the standard of what people wanted in housing changed. And so the issue is those 10 people that are looking to buy a house, out of those 40 houses, there's only 3 or 5 of those 40 that meet their standard. Okay? That meet their standard. But when they see those houses, they still recognize you got to pay for them. Okay? There is no discount. You got to pay for them. And so they do. And so they do. I'll give you a prime example from a living, breathing listing. Okay? My listing. The one that I've been complaining I can't sell. A week ago, 2 weeks ago, it starts getting a lot of traffic. And it starts getting repeat traffic and all this stuff starts happening. Guys, there's still 30 houses to compete with it on the market. There is. Okay? But finally, the 10 people, those 10 people that we're talking about realized, hey, you know what? We've looked at every single one of them. That one's pretty nice. Okay? So all the repeat showings come. Give you some data. It's listed at $499,000. It's been on the market for 68 days. Okay? 2 offers come in. 2, with a third one in the lurch, but 2 I have in my hand. I go do my job. I start saying, well, you know, I got this one, I got this one. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What's your best number? Look, all that stuff. I'm not going to, that's a long story. But the end result of it is that I bring my seller an offer for $490,000 on a $499 list price with a 14-day close, all cash, no contingencies. Let me say that again. No contingencies. Here you go. Sign it. Sign it. You know what the seller said? No. No, it's not enough money. I want you to counter them. All right? I tell them, please don't do that. Here's all the reasons why. Here's what's happened. But please don't counter them. You're going to run away a beautiful offer. You're going to run away the second best offer. Everybody's going to go away. We're going to be stuck here. It's going to be horrible. Don't do it. Counter them both. Fine. So I counter them both, $495,000. Both of them. The second offer, the one that I didn't really want, but was still a great offer. I just didn't want it, said immediately, in like 3 minutes. Nope, we're out. See ya. Now I'm shaken. Absolutely shaken. Right? The first offer, after some talking, signs it. $495. After they had told me this is our absolute bottom line. We will not go 1 penny above this. If you counter us, we'll walk. We'll bail. We're gone. Don't do it. Right? They signed it. They signed it. That's how that happens. Those are all the dynamics of how that happens. Okay, great, Damian. Wonderful story. What does it mean? I'll tell you exactly what it means. What do you think is going to happen if that's the attitude with those 10 people when 40 more of them come back in February and now we're back up to the 50? What do you think is going to happen to price? More buyer demand, not a giant influx of inventory. Buyer demand quadruples. What do you think is going to happen to price?
Well, yeah, if there's less on the market, then the price will be driven up, but I think that people might start selling them. Hopefully.
Not to that level.
Yeah.
Not to that level.
I think that, so let me ask you about the deal. So how did you write the deal? Did the buyer get any seller credits or anything like that? Or
2%.
2%
2%.
for you? Okay. Well, that was a good deal.
They both asked for 2.5, by the way. So we dropped the commission too. We screwed them over. Yeah.
Yeah,
Julie brings up a good point. I think more people will start selling. Yeah, maybe a few, but not a ton. Okay, not a ton. And let me tell you why. Okay, because there's still going to be a lion's share of people sitting in their house that are paying 3% on 30-year mortgages. Okay, and the rate is not going to be anywhere near that. All right. So the amount of sellers organically that we would have developed to try and service the now 40 buyers is going to be cut in half because of all those people that don't want to leave their mortgage. Right? Number one. Okay. So there's a reason that I'm telling you this, and it's going to tie into what we talk about next. And that is you've got to educate and you've got to be ready. All right. I said it a long time ago, and I didn't have this kind of data to work with. Price doesn't go down. It might go down a little bit, but it's not going to go down a lot. And I'll tell you exactly when it went down, okay, for the last time. And that was October of 2023. It went down October and November of 2023. It bottomed out in December, and then it stayed static, and it's marched its little butt up for the entire year of 2024. Okay, so that correction that they were all waiting for, it's behind us. It already happened. Okay, What they can look forward to in 2025 because of that data and that data alone is static, best case scenario, increase, probable scenario, spike, worst case scenario. It's going to happen. Okay? It's going to happen. Make sure that your clients understand that. Make sure that when you're talking to your clients that you're not like any of these other agents that I've heard out there say things like, yeah, I think you're right. I think if we keep looking and if we're patient, prices will fall in line. No, they won't. Okay? No, they won't. That's over. All right? Now is the time. Like I said 2 weeks ago, now is the time. Now is the best opportunity to do something because they're all coming back, folks. You watch what happens after the freaking election's over and you watch what happens after the holiday is over. They are all coming back. Okay? And it's going to be a shit show in the best way possible. All right? Be ready for it. Be ready for it. But at the same time, be ready for what I'm about to show you. Okay, can you all see my screen? Good. Okay. And I got to move this box over here. Good. All right. So RIS Media did a study on commissions pre-settlement and post-settlement. Okay. And I think some of the data is pretty darn impressive. Why am I sharing this data with you? Okay. Understand that my greatest hope and my biggest motivation is twofold. Twofold. Number one, I want you to understand that there has been an impact on commission in real life. Like it's really happened. It's not just talk anymore. It's really happened. I want you to be able to capitalize on market share, and I want you to be able to capitalize on commission. And you can't do that unless you know what's happening. So we're going to go fast. The bottom line is commission rates went down. The average commission in 22-23, this is total commissions, both sides. 22-23 was 5.21. In 23 and 24, it went up 5.64%. After the settlement, it went down to 4.96. Okay, that's a fact. The biggest hit was on the buy side. Okay, no surprise there, but the biggest hit was on the buy side. 23-24, it was 2.65 average. Post-settlement, it went down to 2.28. That's basically 0.5%, right? The same 0.5% that we talked about with my listing. They asked for 2.5, they got 2. Same thing with Brendan's listing. They asked for 3.0. What'd they get, Brendan? 1, 2? 175? 2. Okay, they got 2. Thank you. In 23-24, 18% of buyers agents worked for less than 2.5%. It's a pretty small number, okay? Post-settlement, that number doubled to 33%. And post-settlement, 17% of the transactions paid 0. Okay, seeing a trend? The biggest differentiator in commission, there's 2 differentiators. The first one is experience. Okay, the first one is experience. So 23-24, you can see what happened. Less than 3 years experience, it was 5.56, 5.41 with 3 to 10 years of experience, and 10 plus years of experience, 5.68. Post-settlement, look at the difference. If you've got less than 3 years under your belt, it was going to be 4.22, and if you've got 10 plus years, it's going to be 5.07. A lot of you are new. Don't worry, we've got a strategy. All right? You're going to love this one.
I wouldn't worry about those numbers.
What's that?
I just was gonna say, don't worry about those numbers or let them discourage you because you just have to show your value, right? Damian?
I don't know. I would say that I would have absolutely agreed with you 10 days ago. That all you've got to be able to do is demonstrate value, but those experience numbers I did not anticipate, and I think we have to have a strategy for it. Now, it may never come up. It may never come up, and that's great. Okay, if it never comes up, that's fine. But I think we got to talk about it, and I think we got to be ready for it in case it does come up. That's a good point, Julie.
I think that you're right, though. Strategy to be prepared is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. This is rates by region pre-settlement, folks. Pre-settlement. I mean, we just barely beat the Northeast in average commissions, but you can see the Western region, we're used to discounting commissions. Now, a lot of that, guys, you've got to understand, a lot of that is driven and fueled by our luxury segment, especially when you talk about this region right here. Follow my mouse. Follow it. Follow it. You know, anything that touches water, okay, the price is really, really high and the commission can get driven down. So you got to understand that that's part of it. But, you know, generally speaking, when expressed as a percentage, we're one of the lowest in the nation, our region. You're not going to like this, though. Post-settlement, we took the biggest hit, okay? Not only did we take the biggest hit, but we're also the lowest. All right, so you have to understand that this settlement is affecting our region at a higher level than any other region in the country. Now, keep in mind, these folks right here, they have already had to use buyer broker agreements for years. Okay, these folks right here also have already had to use buyer brokers agreements for years. So they're really, really used to operating like that. We are not. Okay. Let's go to section 2. Cooperative commission paid pre-settlement was at 91%. It's always been negotiable. Post-settlement, it's all the way down to 77%. The biggest numbers for who is not cooperating post-settlement, the experience factor, part-time agents, hybrid and self-employed agents, those are non-affiliated agents, and a special section for agents in the West, right? All of that hits home for us. 23% of agents and brokers said they did not sign agreements post-settlement. 57% said they did post-settlement. But Damian, why? Aren't we all supposed to do it? No, you're not. If you're not a member of NAR and you don't subscribe to an MLS, there is no requirement in writing for you to do it. However, you put yourself at great risk if you don't do it. Flat fee. Let's talk about flat fee. This actually surprised me.
Oh, I had a question. I thought I was, can I ask it or?
Go. Yep.
On the East Coast, you know, where they've already been using these buyer broker agreements.
Yep.
They don't, I was talking to a guy the other day in South Carolina and I was telling him, you know, well, with the NAR agreement, I know that you work differently than California, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm not sure exactly how it would work, but you do have to sign a buyer. He's like, no, we don't have to sign buyer broker agreements over here. I go, well, I thought with the settlement that you have to now. It doesn't, you know, you might have had the option before, just like we had the option before, we never utilized them. Yeah. But with the NAR settlement, you do. He's like, no, we don't have to do that. Can you clarify that for me?
No, because I'm not licensed in South Carolina.
No. Okay.
I would say, to the best of my knowledge, he would be incorrect. Yeah. I would also say this: if he's not a member of NAR and he's not a member of the MLS that requires it, then he might be working in a loophole. But if either of those two are the case,
well, I'm just saying he was the client, but you know, I know that in Boston, in Massachusetts, you don't have to belong to NAR, you don't have to belong to the board, and they like that. So I don't know if that's the case on that side, and maybe they don't necessarily have to subscribe to the same rules as, you know, we do as with NAR.
I mean, this is a long conversation that I'm not going to get real deep into. Nobody is required to be a member of NAR. Nobody is required to be a member of any MLS. That's not you don't have to do that if you possess a real estate license. There are very, very, very good reasons to make sure that you are a member of both of those. So,
Okay.
I mean, they're absolutely right. They don't have to, but I wouldn't want to associate myself with any of them. So that's the short answer.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Where do we? Oh, yeah, flat fee, guys. I would have thought this number would have went up, right? In fact, I said it would go up. It didn't go up, which is interesting to me. All right. But there it is. Flat fee actually went down post settlement. I thought it would go up post settlement. I was incorrect. Stay with me. We're going fast. Okay. Guess who wins? Between a national franchise, an indie, and a hybrid agent, guess who wins? Guess who's better at getting higher levels of commissions? National franchise. This is where you're going to popcorn in real quick. Why do you think that is? Anybody have any ideas? Why
I have a big idea
better?
because lots of new people doing this independently have no idea what's going on. That's why I was last year when I was like, yeah, you could be a mortgage broker. Go ahead and sign up with here, and you go ahead. But you have no support. You're all on your own. No, they don't. We don't got you behind our back when you're independent. Thank you very much.
Absolutely a big part of it. Yes, the indies don't have any support. They don't have any horsepower. Zero horsepower. All right. Who watches race cars? Who likes race cars or things that go fast? Boats, motorcycles, anything that goes fast. Never, ever, ever will you hear somebody that is driving one of those machines competitively say, horsepower? Nah, I don't need it. I don't need it. I'll win anyways. No, you will never hear that. All right. National franchisers coming out ahead because they have horsepower. They have support. Yes. They have marketing. Yes. They can demonstrate value at a higher level than an indie can, right? They're going to win the race every time. Be glad you're here, right? And that doesn't have anything to do with me. That's NextHome. Percent of transactions with the sell side compensation paid to a buyer's agent post settlement. Guys, we're doing better at getting sellers to pay concessions. Okay? So we're getting more commission overall. We're having a higher rate of success, getting a seller concession to a buyer's brokerage. We're winning. Can we all agree by a thumb up or a thumb down that it's a good idea for a seller to pay concessions to a buyer's broker? Thumb up or thumb down if you think yes. Good. Thank you. Good. Yes, it's a good idea. Fees have increased. Okay, absolutely increased. This is talking about national brokerages and the fees that they charge agents on the average. They've gone up. Ours have stayed the same. Thank you. Last section, and then we're going to unpack the whole damn thing. Promise. How are we doing on time? Not too bad. Direction of business. Direction of business. 30% of agents surveyed said, I'm going to take on more seller clients because of this shift. Right? 15% said, I'm going to take on more buyer clients because of this shift. All right? Those are the brave. Those guys right there, that 15%, those are my people. You want to know why they're doing that?
They're getting in when everybody's getting out.
Yes, there's another reason. Anybody know what it is?
They're represented the underserved.
Okay, altruism. Yes, okay, yes. There are some altruistic folks out there. Yes, I agree with that. The lion's share of these
Listings, if possibly.
what's that?
They might actually own property, so you might as well work with them and maybe you'll get both sides because you're representing their best interests.
Maybe. But these guys right here, my people, that 15%, those are the guys that said, you know what, finally, some damn listing agent doesn't get to dictate my worth. I'm going to go make money. All right. Those are the true entrepreneurial. Those are my people, man. I don't have I don't have that moxie, but they do. They actually do. Those guys are studs. And then 55%, the giant majority said, no, I'm not going to make a change in my mix. I'm not going to make a change in my mix. Pretty impressive, actually. This is the expectation from the sample pool of what they think is going to happen to commissions in 2025. 12% of them said it would go up. 51%, the majority said it'll stay about the same. And 37% think it's going to go down. What do you guys think? Give me a thumbs up, thumb down. You think commissions in 25 go up, down, or sideways, thumbs stay the same? Let me see the signals while I scroll through.
I think they'll stay the same.
Okay, we've got a couple of up, a couple of statics, and a couple of down. All right, good. No science there, but I like it. Average home sales per agent per broker. Okay, here are the averages of the pool sampled. You can see the pool sampled they were producers, guys. Average was 20 in 2022, 22 units in 23, and 20 units in 2024. You can also see they're not from California because at 20 units, the average is not 5.75 million of volume in California. Okay, it's just not. Agents and brokers who never went into the office made an average of $1,350 less per transaction compared to those who at least occasionally work from an office. What I want you to take from that is that the world still thinks it's important that you have an office. Okay, generally speaking, they still want you to have an office, whether or not you're ever there. After the settlement, part-time agents saw their buyer side commission fall by 0.78% or $3,291 on an average. Full-time agents saw a 0.28% decrease or $1,100 on average. Okay. What that says is that post-settlement, part-time agents said my commissions went down about 0.78%. Full-time agents said my commissions went down 0.28%. Okay, that's it. I'm going to stop sharing. That was a lot. Okay, I'm back. So, what's it all mean? Here's what I think it means. The pressure on commissions is continue to push down. Okay, most of it's going to happen on the buy side. We've seen that. The two things that are the biggest challenge to justifying commissions as an agent is years experience and who you work for. Okay, I think those are the two most important things, and those are the things that we're going to want to address moving forward in 2025. Okay, let's talk about the experience thing because that's the one that caught me kind of off guard. Okay, you are going to have to lean heavy into however you want to phrase it best. My team has this. My broker has this. My partner agent has this. All right, you've got to take that off the table. You got to know that it's going to be an elephant in the room at least a certain percentage of the time, and you got to be ready to address it just like that. And it goes something like this. This is how it's going to land. Okay, this is how it's going to land. Okay, yeah, Brendan, I like you. I like what you brought here today. I like what you have to say. Let me ask you something. How long have you been doing this? How long have you been doing this, Brendan?
Since 2005.
Okay, good. All right, Michael, same question. How long have you been doing this?
Since the beginning of the year.
Okay, that would be the wrong answer, right? So, and I did that on purpose. Here's what I want you to say instead, Michael. Here's what I want you to say instead. Between me and my partner agent, we have 27 years of experience in residential real estate. That's it. It's gone. It's absolutely gone. They don't need to know that Michael's been doing it since the beginning of the year. Doesn't matter, right? Doesn't matter. Don't even say anything else. Just don't, okay? And if they say something like, well, where's your partner agent? Say, well, he can be here tomorrow if you'd like, but this is the part of the business that I handle. Okay. This is my part. Okay. But if you really need to see him, he can be here tomorrow. I don't know that it makes a difference. That's it. Take it off the table. Then you need to lean into the power of your brokerage's performance. This doesn't have anything to do with me, right? The data says the folks out there will pay more for a national franchise. You need to tell them why. All right. You need to tell them why. That's all in your presentation software. It's in your syndication value. It's in your branding, right? It's in all of those things. You need to remind them why those things are important to try and pump up your commission value, right? There's only one group of people on this planet that are going to protect real estate commissions. Do you know who they are? You, real estate agents, realtors. Okay. There's only one group of people that's going to do it. And let me tell you how it starts to get chipped away. It starts to get chipped away when you respond to someone that says, you know what? I don't want to pay you. I don't need to pay you that much. You're not worth that much. I'll use you, but you're going to do it for this, right? At that point in time, and it's really, really tough when things are slow, okay? I know it is. But at that point in time, you need to say, you're a fool. I'm worth every penny of X. This is why, and this is the reason that you'll be making the biggest financial mistake of your career to date if you try and cut my commission or you try and hire somebody else for less than me. Okay? If you don't have that in you right now, there lies your work. Okay? If you're not ready to have that conversation with somebody right now, there lies your work. And you need to let me know, hey man, I'm not ready. And I'll help you get ready. You need to let Brendan know, hey man, I'm not ready. And he will help you get ready. Okay. I've done it 100 times. I've heard him do it live. I mean, real time. I've heard him do it at least 25 times. He's good at it. Okay. I know I'm good at it. You need to be good at it because that's what's coming. That's what I want you to take from today. Okay. Number one, there's a boom coming. There's an absolute boom coming in 2025. I went on record last week. I'll do it again. It's February 15th. Okay. February 15th is when the shit hits the fan. Along with that boom in business, they're not going to want to pay you. February 15th, you're all going to get a deal or you're all going to get a hot prospect. Your phone's going to ring. Your text message is going to go off and you'll be like, holy shit, where did that come from? It came from February 15th. That's where it came from. Okay. So you got to be ready for both of those situations to be happening simultaneously. And I'm not going to lie, it's going to be a lot to juggle, you guys. You're going to have to be like determining how to juggle all this different new business that you're having or all these presentations that you have to make because people are asking you to make them. And at the same time, you're going to have to be juggling. They're not going to want to pay you.
Hey, do you have any data that shows like what supports what you're saying? I'm just wondering because maybe we can use that as a marketing tactic. You better be prepared because once that 15th day of February crosses, like you're going to be really competing buyers. You're going to be really competing.
Here's my data. I don't have any data. Here's what I'm basing that on. There is 12 months of wait and see mentality happening with buyers. By the time that we get to February, it's going to be 14 months. The election will be over, and so will the uproar that follows the election because no matter who wins, somebody's going to be pissed. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That transition doesn't take place until January. All right. You've also got the holidays that you've got to work your way through. And all of those things have to be resolved before people are going to decide to move on. That's where the February 15th comes from. And I'm right. I'm absolutely right. There's no doubt in my mind. All those things have to be resolved before all the people that are sitting on the bench come back to the market. They're ready to come back now. They're starting to kind of filter in and come back now. But there's still a bunch of them that are like, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen with the election. Nothing's going to happen with the election. Somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to lose. Somebody's going to be happy. Somebody's going to be pissed. And by the time February rolls around, we're all going to realize, oh shit, it doesn't matter who's in office. It never does. Doesn't matter. Life goes on. Believe it or not, life goes on. So this is by far the most contentious election in history, but that doesn't have anything to do with candidates. What that has to do with is there is so much more information and so many more platforms for people to vent whatever they have to say on, that it just seems gross. That's what you've got to deal with, and that's what you've got to prep for. All right. So along with what we talked about last week, which was staying in front of people, continuing to grind, making sure that your marketing is in place, all of those things, you now also have to deal with, do I have my goals set? Do I have my action plan set? What does that look like? And then you also have to deal with, am I ready to have that argument? Am I ready to win that argument? Can I be successful? That's a lot. The most important things that I think that you can be utilizing me for at this time, okay? Help with your goals and your action plan. Help with being in position to have an effective commission argument, discussion, negotiation. Pick whichever word you like. But at the end of the day, don't be mistaken. It's an argument, all right? What's that?
And you can't call it commission.
Yes, you can. If
We
you're a
can call it
listing
commission.
agent, you absolutely can call it a commission. Absolutely, because that's what it is. Okay. So you've got to be prepared to have that conversation. All right. Anything else? Who's got something else? Talk to me. Questions. I'll try my best to answer them. Let me know what you got.
I've got something I'd like to add.
Go.
Going back to the we, and also to agents that have little less experience, use that we, lean on the we. I always use that now and in the beginning. You could always tell clients, people you talk to, we just sold one in Grass Valley. We just sold one in Sacramento. We just got multiple offers on this property. Doesn't matter if it's mine or Damian's or anybody in the brokerage. Always say, hey, we just did this. Lean on all of the production that everybody in the brokerage is doing.
Huge, huge point. There's a time for I and there's a time for we. Know the difference and absolutely positively lean on the performance of the conglomerate, the group. Yeah, huge point. What else?
That's very generous. Thank you very much.
I'm going to get out of here unless there's anything else, questions, anything else. Other than that, we're going to go trick-or-treating and we're going to eat a lot of candy. All right. And we got football tonight. We got the trifecta: candy, chili dogs, and football. All right.
All right. Have fun.
Talk to you all later. Call me if you need me. All right.
Thanks, Damian.